Have you ever been so hungry but so broke that you can't even afford to grab a Snickers bar? So broke that sleep is the only delicacy you were able to afford? So broke that sleep was almost out of your budget? Yeah, well I have, and it got me to thinking. The fact that we have to pay to live is outrageous. I'm not in the most privileged position, but I'm not in the most catastrophic position either. I've had to wonder where my next meal was gonna be, look in the refrigerator about 5 times in an hour expecting a new food to magically appear. You know there's nothing new, but the delusion and hunger tell you otherwise. I've never had to sleep on a sidewalk, but I've slept on a broken beat up futon with the spring coming out the bottom. Do you see what I'm saying? And actually I'll come back to that. Having to pay for the bare necessities of life as a person has to be one of the most grimy and greedy things I've ever seen. There are people starving actively on this planet right now as I'm recording this video. And that's just one of the problems regarding literal human necessities. That's just starvation. As bad as that sounds, there's so much more. Like water. Why in the world do we have to pay for clean drinking water? Any reasoning honestly goes out of the window when you get to the fact that water is something that every living organism requires to live. We can't be serious. How did we get finessed into thinking that it's normal to pay for something that we will die without? Die. D-I-E. We need food to survive. We need water to live. Speaking of survival talk, housing. Housing has to be at some of the highest in history. When I graduated, I'm not even gonna lie, I was trying to think 40 to 50 years in the future. A nice retirement home, a big yard, a nice calm living. Only for reality to hit like a ton of bricks when I realized that I genuinely might not retire. That's an insane thought. As a matter of fact, before I graduated, I had this financial algebra class. It's exactly what it sounds like, and man was it boring. But my teacher was cool. Anyways, in this class we had a unit about something called amortization, and if you don't know what it means, it's pretty much just the process of mortgaging a home. But me now knowing this word, I can only double down on the fact that housing feels like a scam. No matter which way you go, whether it's buying a home or renting an apartment, your pockets are going to be crying tears of agony when they see the invoices in that bank account. No, actually, I'm gonna be crying tears of agony. Look, obviously everything can't be free, but I feel like there should be a limit of what can be turned into a commodity. Housing as a perfect example. How many people have really thought about the fact that we all live in a society and we all play by the same rules, allegedly, and we all get afforded the same opportunities, but there are still people at the bottom of the barrel? Man, no way. I can't believe it. You lock comfortable living behind a price tag and now people are struggling. Go figure. It doesn't even just stop there. Everybody has a set of teeth. Well, nearly everybody, but still the point still stands. It's not just about the stuff we consume. What about just in general? Whether or not you pay for it right now at this moment, I want you to think about the very fact that nearly every person on this planet has a set of teeth. And we all collectively agree that this fact of life needs to be addressed. But still somehow we came to the conclusion that we should pay thousands of dollars for it. I used to wonder what the cost of survival was, especially way back in the early days of humanity. I'd assumed it was constant stress, never any certainty, and just overall exhaustion. From having to constantly have an alert on, until I looked around and realized I knew the cost. The survival just evolved with us.